So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. Tries to play it through. That'll be a throw-in. Bernardo Silva will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Now it's Roberto Carlos. And the finish! Hits off target and by quite a way.
Well, it's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
Neither of these two want to come off second best. It's a searching pass. Well, Jim, the name Albert Ferrer is certainly familiar to English football fans of a certain vintage.
Yeah, and he's remembered with a great deal of affection as a pacey and tough tackling defender who always gave his all.
And was a bit of a character.
He was.
Well, who's got the final touch there? Goal kick's been given. Van der Ven. Anything noteworthy in the early part of the match, Jim?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
And this is Bernardo Silva. Scholes. First quarter of an hour gone. Looking for options for movement. Cruyff! Goal! Manchester United! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Manchester United are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Manchester United have fired themselves in front.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier...
Oh, shooting chance! Lee Kang in! That is magnificent! That is a gem! An absolute gem! They're level in a trice!
Well, going behind has simply triggered a collective determination to hit back, and they merit nothing less. Yeah, that's really well played, Peter. It's very, very simple. The ball through to him was just beautifully measured.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, they just couldn't have...
He's gone for goal! Well, he should have done better, and he knows it.
Well, to put it this way, he's probably made better decisions.
He is through here. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Dink through. Schmeichel claims comfortably. Looking for the run. Real chance! They've scored! And the game is well and truly turned on its head. It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Well, their manager seems to have them always thinking about the next goal. When's the next goal coming? They're such an entertaining watch.
Beckham. And they're back on the ball again. And it's Cruyff. Knocks it into space. And he will... And a chance! Oh, that was a half-decent effort.
Yeah, typically for him, that was the furthest thing from easy, but it still didn't stop him having a go.
Beckham. Lee Kang-in. And it's Makalele. It's Albert Ferrer. Manchester United are still behind as we reach out for half-time. And Bernardo Silva! That's got him rattled. Scholes is the team's great visionary. Oh no, no circumventing this opponent. Bernardo Silva. Now, can they get him away? Turns back here, probably the best option. Here's Roberto Carlos. Beckham. Nicely shaped ball. Oh, the chip pass hasn't quite come off. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. And this is Zico. Lee Kang-in. Oh, that's a foul. Free kick's been given. Beckham. And it's Bernardo Silva.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Looking to play him in. Oh, he's found support out wide. Chance for a shot! Oh, and with that, the half-time whistle goes. So we have here a genuinely competitive game with neither team truly in control. A single goal the difference at half-time. And we are up to the break.
Well, give me a moment to get my breath back. What a super half of football. Incident-packed, goals, comebacks, and the match being turned on its head. Which way it's going to go from here, it's anyone's guess.
And the game has already resumed here.
Manchester United really need to bring up their intensity and rhythm a notch or two, Peter. Just looked a step too slow on everything.
And he's forced to go back. Great vision. Lee Kang-in. Lee Kang-in was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Now it's Son Heung-min.
Oh, great feat, that.
And he's managed to get free. Little pass back. He shifted it to the flank.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
And he's there to retrieve it. Adams. So can they find a way to turn round this deficit? And here's Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min going face-to-face with his great rival. Lee Kang-in tries a shot! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Manchester United have the chance to go the other way. Makalele plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. Aims beyond the defence. Bernardo Silva unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Thuram! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Substitution for Manchester United. Number 19, Johan Cruyff.
Beckham goes short.
Number 11,
Lee Kang-in's cross.
Number 8,
Thuram is there and he can get that clear.
42, Toure.
He's
Number 9,
ended up in no man's land.
Schneider. Coming on the field, number 14, Pele. Number 23,
Albert
Roberto
Ferrer.
Carlos. Number 13, Ronaldinho.
Now the ball climbs up big.
Neymar.
Oh, denied
Number
brilliantly.
22.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Can he get on the end of this? Chance! It's in! It's level again! What a match we have!
Well, this is just incredible. I mean, who would have seen this? Neither manager, I think. It's all happening.
Could be danger here. He's got away. And he shoots! Goal! Manchester United! And with that, he becomes a member of the exclusive 300 Club. Perfect placement, the one place the keeper couldn't reach.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Well, it's an inspired substitution. Terrific move by the boss.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up, something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
He's found a way through. Look at this. He's having a shot! And the keeper couldn't hold it. And yes, it's there! That is remarkable! All square in a matter of moments.
Well, that's so refreshing. They went a goal down and you never would have guessed it. Their reaction has been emphatic.
And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Well, it still had to be finished off, so well done to the goal scorer, but the keeper should have done a lot better.
This is quite a battle.
Well, I think the players will be buoyed by the fact that they've managed to level things in a hurry. Tails most definitely up now.
Tries to pass it through. Oh, perfectly measured that. Keylor Navas gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. Albert Ferrer. Beckham. And it's Bernardo Silva. Not the most accurate pass. Ronaldinho. Costa Rica can breathe again, just.
Well, I thought they got off lightly there. The odds were stacked against them.
Albert Ferrer gets across to intercept that. It's not an especially good pass, that. Makaleli. Albert Ferrer. And it's Beckham. To Messi. Nicely weighted ball. Albert Ferrer picks it up out. Shot a goal! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it.
Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared to back down, and to be honest, that's how it should be.
Into the channel. Albert Ferrer has it out wide and in space. It's a mighty effort!
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Costa Rica have turned to their bench, and we're going to have a substitution. Neymar getting the call here in what can be interpreted as a clear show of intent.
Well, it's going to make for a frantic end, Peter. Let's hope he's got enough time to make the impact he wants. Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Now it's Messi. Now it's Beckham. Beckham stood his ground strongly.
4 added
Adams
minutes has
spots
been
it
indicated.
and intercepts. Van de Ven. Ambitious ball here. And he gets rid in a hurry. Oh, that's well spotted. That's a sharp pass. Beckham given the lift of his goal. And that could set him on his way. And there's the shot! In he goes again. Oh, what about that? Late in the day, this could well be it. Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
Costa Rica making consecutive changes here.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off.
And we're done. They are pumped. Boy, they're pumped. A tough win earned through the power of will, and this place is bouncing. Rummenigge claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. So a dramatic game decided in its very last moments.
Well, this looked like it had a draw written all over it, Peter, so credit where it's due. They found a way to win it, and they could take great satisfaction from never losing that focus.
Thank you for your cooperation.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you.